We welcome in Adam Schefter now. Adam, the list of storylines, as we discussed, is lengthy, but one of them that will not make its way to the field tonight, you shared the news earlier about Damar Hamlin, not going to be active. What's the plan moving forward about Damar Hamlin and the Bills and getting back on the field?
Well, Scott, he is in their plans, and they would like to get him back on the field. It's just not going to be tonight. The Bills have prioritized making Cam Lewis, another safety, active on the roster, as opposed to Damar Hamlin, who will not be active tonight. This doesn't speak to where he's at in his recovery. He's already overcome long odds and is in a spot that few people thought he could get to. His story has inspired many people, and that's why everybody was looking forward to seeing him back out there tonight on Monday Night Football once again, since the last time he played in Cincinnati, and everybody remembers that particular night. But he's going to be inactive tonight. Cam Lewis will get the nod in the rotation, and I do think at some point here, relatively soon, Damar Hamlin will get back onto the football field, Scott.
Adam, some news not long ago that you shared on Twitter about the reigning champs. They were shorthanded, obviously, in that home loss to Detroit on Thursday night, but they're getting one of the most significant players, not just on their team, but in the National Football League back. What happened?
Their Pro Bowl defensive tackle, Chris Jones, reached agreement with the Chiefs this afternoon. I think both sides wanted to get this done and have him back in the fold. On Thursday night, he was at the game in a suite, sitting side by side with his two agents. He's a lot better on the field than in a suite. And today, he gets a sweet incentive deal to get done, and he is expected to be on the field for Sunday's game at Jacksonville against the Jaguars.
RC, what's up?
Big you got to be to have two agents. You got to be flanked by two of them when you that big.
One got to negotiate the first 40. And
Right. You guys all are huge, and you need the marketing piece. You got more shows than anybody right now.
This how Chris Jones looked in that seat.
Bodyguards.
Yep. This how Chris Jones looked in that seat.
Like
Did you see the brothers next to him? Looked like they played in the Sopranos.
My agents.
But Marcus, as for what he brings to the team, it's obvious. They didn't lose that game because he couldn't get to the passers because they couldn't squeeze the passes. But he changes they are in what way most notably?
Scott, I've been on this, and RC and RG3 have heard me say this. The game now is dominated by three techniques, right? I understand T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett and all of these guys that are phenomenal edge rushers. You think about the Chiefs' run, and we are obviously fixated on Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and what they've done. Chris Jones has been as important, if not more, to them winning Super Bowls than Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce because of his ability to close games out. You think about Aaron Donald against the Cincinnati Bengals. He don't get a pressure and force a bad throw. Jamar Chase is bumping his head on the goalpost. Chris Jones against the San Francisco 49ers, the first Super Bowl. A pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo. Inerrant pass. Pat Mahomes gets the ball back. They go down the field and score. And we saw what he was able to do in this last recent Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. He is one of the guys, and I said it before the season started, they have no shot at winning a Super Bowl without Chris Jones.
Well, here's what happened. Justin Reed and Brian Cook and L'Jarius Sneed and all those people, what happened last week, they said, you know what, Andy, I get that we're trying to make a point, but the point is we want to win another race. And if I'm going to play great on the back end, I need that sort of pressure. I need the pocket to be pushed. If you look at the biggest play that was made in the pass game for the Detroit Lions on that last drive, it was because they were in a too high pressure and they had to send someone. So now you've left voids in the zone, and they were able to find that with Jared Goff and Josh Reynolds. When you have a Chris Jones, you don't have to resort to that. You can have a four-man rush. We can drop seven. We can play man. We can play robber. You become so much more multiple when you have an absolute dog on the front end. This is a great decision for the Kansas City Chiefs, and hopefully the incentives are that Chris Jones gets to reach them because he deserves more money.
No doubt.
Business is business, and they handled it. It was a costly point that was made, though. They lose the game in a crowded AFC. How much might that come back to bite them? We know Patrick Mahomes has never had to play a road game in the playoffs. You want to try to put as many chips on the win side as you can, and they lost that first one at home against Detroit.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.